All right, welcome back to the channel. It's December 29th and it's cold outside, and we're standing outside because we've got the donor vehicle for the S10 V8 swap behind me. So we were scouring Facebook Marketplace daily, Craigslist, everything that we could do, or all the resources out there, to find something that was cheap enough, plentiful enough, and that would have the ability to make a decent amount of power. So we looked at big block Chevy stuff, small block Chevy stuff. I even looked at Atlas 35 4200 stuff, keeping all that in mind, trying to find the most cost-effective swap. And I think I found it. So let's take a look at what we got behind me for the S10. But for those of you that are new to the channel and you haven't seen the S10, let's take a look at what I bought and what we plan on putting a V8 into for some drag racing, street fun in the next upcoming this year, actually 2026. So here is the S10 we bought. It is a roller, no motor, no trans, decent condition, really quite a clean little truck. I love the rallies. She's been lowered, and short box, regular cab. It seems to be the flavor everybody likes, the flavor I like, as well as the chrome Sonoma, GMC Sonoma grill and aftermarket headlights. So there's the rig that we're gonna have some fun with. We're gonna do a V8 swap into, and the donor vehicle, well, let's take a look. And here it is. Yes, some of you may say, another LS swap. Well, LS swaps are plentiful, they're relatively cheap, and they make good power. So here she is, the donor vehicle. It's a 2002 Sierra 1500 4x4 that I got on Craigslist. Whoops, no, I got on Marketplace for cheap, like real cheap. Part of the reason why she's real cheap is because the bed's almost completely rotted off on each side, and got some other damage, but hey, doesn't matter. The rockers underneath, they're pretty much rotten as well. Various other bits of damage throughout. Some aftermarket bumper that someone made. That's got to be worth a few bucks. But anyways, it's got a 5.3 LM7, so it's an iron block 862 heads, which are probably the best 4853 head on there. Drive-by cable throttle body. Simple. So this old girl has no reverse, which is one of the reasons why she was so cheap. That is probably the low reverse sun shell, which also wipes out second gear, as it has no second gear as well. But let's take a look around this thing. I'm gonna try my best and recoup as much money as I can out of this thing and part the heck out of it. So here's the inside. Probably already sold those sun visors, but various crap in here from the previous owner. It's even got the original, no way. Look at that. Original GMC 2002 Sierra owner's manual. Pretty cool. Throw that back in there. Was a smoker who owned this and left a lot of recycling in there for me. And a whole bunch of crap in the back. What is this? 2002 warranty and owner's information. Couple spare tire bits and pieces, a whole bunch of water bottles and crap. I don't know what these are. Some water socks or something like that. Just jump in the old driver's side. And I've got a charger on there But just to show you real quick, if I can get the key in, she's got some mileage on there, 426,701 kilometers. So that's kilometers for those of you Americans that are watching. But yeah, it's got some parts. Usually the seats on these things are trash. I mean, okay, the foam is pretty bad, but maybe if someone would want the seats. This tough diamond plate stuff, definitely worth selling. That front bumper, like I mentioned. Tailgates on these things usually rot out. This one's good. Sell the hitch or the receiver there, maybe even the rear bumper, the tail lights, everything. So I'm just gonna wind this down and see if we can start this girl up. The headlights are on. Those look like daytime running lights, but we got her on the old 50 amp car start. She's a dual battery unit. That one over there, which is a one that would normally start the truck, is dead. And we did have it running off this one, but it is a good running engine. So the reason why I bought a complete vehicle, running and somewhat driving vehicle, was exactly that, to see how well the engine did run. A lot of people on Marketplace charging $1,000+ for a running and driving a ran when pulled LS. Pretty hard to see how, healthy that engine is. I mean, if it's got a starter, you could put power to the starter, roll it over, pull the plugs out, do a compression test. But I just didn't want to take the chance. This way I've got everything for the swap: computer, wiring harness, engine. I can verify the engine runs. I mean, I drove the vehicle around the guy's farm in forward gears only, or at least first, third, and I don't think we got into overdrive. That'd be pretty quick, but I did drive the vehicle. I do know that the four-wheel drive works, I knew all the brakes work. All that stuff is got value to it. I can sell it. And then of course the engine, which I will swap and take out, that I can see runs well regardless of the 426,000 kilometers. It runs really well. I'm starting with something good. I'm starting not with something that doesn't have broken rods or spun bearings. The crank is scored. It's something that does work, and that's what makes the swap feasible and cheaper, and something that I'm interested in. So we're gonna let this here MotoMaster charger cook this battery for a while and see if we can get her to light off and show you what 426,000 kilometers gets you in a I would say not really well taken care of, but in a good running donor vehicle. And while we're waiting for the battery to charge, there's some goodies in the bed that we can take a look at. I would assume that this is the spare tire that was underneath the bed, and that's something else that's not off of this truck. That's a Toyota something. So there you go. I just gained a Toyota something. More of these. Interesting what those are. And yeah, high mileage 1040. Maybe that was in it. Actually, the oil is really clean on this. I can show you that as well. While the battery's trying to come back to life, the oil was another good indicator of the condition of these things, or what you're looking for. That is not bad at all. Totally full, and it's relatively clean looking. So somebody at some point in time, if I can get that in there, somebody at some point in time did some oil changes on this thing. I don't know if you can see in here at all. Nah, not really. Need a flashlight, but the oil looks decent. I mean, there's going to be some sludge on this engine. 426,000 kilometers. How many miles is that? Comment down below. What is that? 300, 260. Let me do some math here. Yeah, so that turns out to be 260 5,000 miles basically, so still quite a few miles. But hey, I've seen people take, you know, engines with this similar mileage, throw them into a car, put a turbo on them, and with a good tune, they've lasted quite a while. Oh, and by the way, if you notice, I do have a new camera I'm using right now. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 with the wireless mic. So if you do like the audio and the video quality of this video, leave a comment down below. I'm excited to try something a little bit different than the aging GoPro Hero 5 Black that I was using, and of course my cell phone to sort of fill in some of the gaps. So comment down below if you do like the audio and video quality. One of the cool things about this camera is it'll actually face track. Ooh, look at that. I'm moving around and it's actually following my face, which is pretty cool. So it should bring the ability to have better content. Hopefully it don't make you dizzy back there, but really cool feature. Well, this thing has been sitting on the charger now for quite a while. So let's give it a crank and see how she starts and how she sounds, and listen to the engine, listen to the valve train, and listen to what 426,000 kilometers or 265,000 miles gets you in a used LS 5.3 LM7. Yes, okay, we do have a startup here, so let's take a look. Other than a little bit of an idler squeak, she's running really good. There's no clatter under the hood. Responsive. You hear a bit of a whine under there. That's the trans. But maybe it's me with the mic that needs to get closer. Really, really healthy. No smoke. Nothing making any noise, no clatter. I mean, I'm gonna need an alternator. Is this thing even charging? It is, again, really cold outside, but oh yeah, we got a healthy charging system. Let's sit in the old rig here. Let's see. We got many, many oil pressures. Lots of good oil pressure. Pretty cool. All right, so there you have it. There is the new project vehicle donor for the V8 engine that's going to go in the LS S10. Did I just name that? The LS S10? The LS Dime? Whatever. We're going to call it something. But this is the donor vehicle that's going to donate its V8 engine for that project. Now, I looked at small block Chevys, big block Chevys, Gen 3, I think, small blocks, the LT1 reverse cooling, you know, 93 to 97 F-body stuff. I looked at, like I said, even a couple Trailblazers with the 4200 Atlas inline 6. But based on price, cost, available swap parts, and power potential all included, I think the 5.3 is one of the best options out there. And this truck was really, really cheap. So if you like the content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. For those of you that are new to the channel, if you like watching something happen with this, watching this engine come out, getting upgraded, and then going into the S10, please follow along. And I hope you're having a great between Christmas and New Year's time off, relaxing with your friends and family. And from there, we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.